Unemployment happens when a capitalist, an employer, finds it more profitable to fire a worker than to hire one. Either doesn't hire them in the first place or fires them if they were already working. There it is. Unemployment is a decision made by employers to take away your job. Number two, unemployment always involves redistributing wealth. You may not have thought of it that way. Let me show you that that's always involved. We begin by remembering what you're like when you're not unemployed. You're working. You take things out of the economy, the things you consume, and you put things into the economy, the things you help to produce. You take, you give. When you're unemployed, you continue to take. You don't stop eating, you don't stop drinking, you don't stop, etc. But you do stop working. You take out of the economy, but you don't put back in because you're not employed. That means that part of the wealth produced by the people still working has to be redistributed. They don't get it. You do because you're the unemployed person who's taking but not giving. How do we get that done? We redistribute wealth, for example, socially by taxing the employed people and using the money, giving it to the unemployed so they can go to the store and buy what they take. And that means the people who are taxed can't spend the money they pay in taxes. That's how the redistribution gets done. But you also do it in your home. If one of the two members of an adult family are unemployed, the other one shares, the one who still has the job. That's another redistribution that wasn't necessary before. But here's the punchline. Unemployment isn't necessary. You know it's a cruelty for the unemployed. How people feel about themselves if they can't work, if they have to rely either on taxes or on the sharing of a spouse or a friend or using up their savings. You know the story. But here's the double irony. Capitalists lose too, because if they don't have people working, they're not going to make profits. So everybody loses from unemployment. The workers who are unemployed, the people still employed who have to help take care of those that are unemployed, and even the employer loses. So why does this happen, this unnecessary, bad for everyone thing? It's because capitalists have reasons to suffer the losses of unemployment in a way workers don't. There's nothing in it for workers, but there is something for employers. Here we go. They figured out they lose less profits laying off people than if they kept them there, because the wage they pay the worker is more than the profits they can get from having him or her there. And the minute that happens, they fire the worker. So they're taking care of their business. But there's another reason. It's kind of good for capitalism to have unemployment. Yes, it's bad. Those workers aren't making profits for some employer somewhere. But all employers know that if workers are always unemployed, it's a kind of a discipline for the workers that they have. Don't you act up, the capitalist can tell the worker, because there's lots of unemployed out there I can go give this job to. In other words, capitalism, for its own reasons of profiting the employer, does something bad for the unemployed and even bad for the employer because the other part of the system says, you better do this thing. It's the irrationality of capitalism, the crazy system that needs to keep people unemployed, even though nobody wants it, because that's how the system allows the employer to keep the upper hand at the workplace.